What's up, y'all? My name is Mason Littlejohn, and if you're new to this channel, I've spent over $330 million on Meta ads and driven over $1.7 billion in Meta ads attributable revenue. And that's why you should listen to me. And today I want to go over a topic that's truly near and dear to my heart, which is scaling to $1 million months. And so every day in my coaching program, my agency, everyone wants to go to $1 million months or do multi-million dollars a month. And most people get stuck on the way there. And so in this video, I just want to talk about all the different things you need to do to hit these $1 million, multi-million dollar, $10 million plus months. Every brand runs into different walls at different periods. So I want to break down all the different walls that people run into and all the different ways you can get around these walls. So launching around from scratch in 2025, here's what you're going to do. Typically, I launch with a broad or Advantage Plus campaign, which is basically the same thing now. Next, typically I do a niche interest, and then I also do a testing campaign. So these are like the first three campaigns that I typically go with. And these three campaigns can basically get you to $100,000 a month. And so we're at $100,000 a month. What else is required to get to that $100,000 a month? Really, you're gonna need your basic email flows, right? You're gonna need your Alia pop-up to get you those 10% plus sign-up rates. You're gonna need your welcome flow. You're gonna need your browse abandon flow. You're gonna need your abandoned checkout flow. And you're going to need your site abandonment flow. So these flows, along with the ad account structure I just went over, like I said, can get you to six-figure months, no problem. But how do we get to these $1 million months? What do we have to do to get there? And this is when some sophistication needs to start happening with your marketing and within your ad account. Typically, to get to $100,000 months, you're leading with your product, leading with your brand, the founder's story, right? This is typically what gets you to this point. Your number one ideal customer profile resonates with this. They resonate with your founder's story, the ethos of your brand or of your product, right? But that's really just the low-hanging fruit. And in order to get to the next level, you have to get a little bit more sophisticated. And so there's a few ways to do this, both inside the ad platform and off the ad platform, meaning with your marketing. And so within the ads platform, first thing I typically do is start breaking out static ads into their own campaigns and video ads into their own campaigns. And breaking these out gives you multiple campaigns now that can take their own budgets, which can typically allow you to spend more. And as you keep getting winning static ads in your testing campaign and winning video ads in your testing campaign, you're able to scale these inside your testing campaign. And you're also now able to scale these in their own individual campaigns in your ad account, right? Within your static campaigns, within your video campaigns. Typically, just running these static and video campaigns can again get you to kind of the mid six figures mark. Also, adding in dynamic product ads campaigns, this can kind of get you to that mark as well. But typically, this is when most brands hit a wall. Wall typically comes from only hitting a single customer profile. And this is when you need to start expanding into what I call ancillary customer profiles. And so your number one customer profile, typically this is your lowest hanging fruit, right? But now there's customers to the left and there's customers to the right of this ideal customer profile, right? They share the same traits a lot of the time, but they are a different customer who has different needs, different problems they need to be solved. So a perfect example of this is a brand you guys might know, Kill Crew. So Kill Crew started out as a jiu-jitsu MMA brand. That was their ideal customer profile, right? And so in the beginning, that's kind of all who they talked to. Their products were about jiu-jitsu or MMA, right? And that was kind of what got them to those, six-figure months, right? What did they do? They started expanding outside of jiu-jitsu, outside of MMA, into gym goers, fitness enthusiasts, right? And this is what really allowed them to break out as a brand and made them a much more broad brand and more appealing to a broader audience, which again allows you to scale bigger and faster and reach way more people, right? And so that's the perfect example of how to expand into customer profiles. And so what you're gonna want to do is kind of figure out what are these adjacent customer profiles. Your main customer profile falls under them, but it's actually a bigger profile, right? Because the gym goers or fitness enthusiast profile, the jiu-jitsu customer fits under that umbrella technically, right? But it's a small subset. So Kill Crew, what they did, they expanded and went above that, right? And did all gym goers, all fitness enthusiasts, right? Which allowed them to scale to massive heights. And so you have to do this with your brand and you have to kind of take on different customer profiles in order to continue scaling. And so how does this actually look like inside your ad account, right? And so you're going to want to make customer specific campaigns. Like I mentioned, you have your video campaigns and you have your static campaigns, right? So now you're going to need to create customer profile versions of these campaigns, right? And so for example, you'll have a video campaign for fitness enthusiasts. You'll have a static campaign for fitness enthusiasts, right? You can even launch a fitness enthusiast interest campaign, right? And now you're going after that customer profile via an interest campaign. And so the more customer profiles that you can stack together, the more scale that you're going to have. Same thing with Ruggable. Our ideal customer profile was dog owners, and dog owners is a massive, massive audience. Supposedly 55% of the country has dogs, right? So we were able to get very far with this single ideal customer profile, over $100 million a year in revenue, but we started to hit walls and we did not know why. Like, what do we do? What do we do? And I figured out, hey, we got to expand into ancillary customer profiles, right? And so that is exactly what we did. And so I identified 3 different customer profiles. The first customer profile was cost conscious. So these were people who were very dialed in with their budget, really on top of their finances, and they didn't want to have to keep buying rugs every single year and spending money on rugs every single year. They wanted to buy rugs, right, that were washable so that would last many years and so that would conserve their budget, right? So they're very, very cost conscious people. So what I did was create landing pages and ads for these cost conscious people and created campaigns for this customer profile. So that was customer profile number 1 we went after. So ancillary customer profile 2 that we went after was what I call the clean freak segment, right? And so there's a subset of the population, me being one of them, that I am a clean freak. Everything has to be clean all the time. And the idea of washable rugs to me was such a brilliant idea because it meant clean rugs all the time, right? And so we went on to make landing pages, ads, and customer specific campaigns, right? Talking about how dirty rugs actually get, how disgusting they actually are, right? And this opened us up into a massive new customer profile and allowed us to scale. And the third customer profile that we expanded into was this sustainability, eco-friendly customer, right? Someone that was sick of throwing away rugs because it wasn't eco-friendly. It's not eco-friendly to be buying new rugs every single year, right? They want a rug that can last years so they're not being wasteful to the environment, right? So in a similar vein, we created landing pages, ads, and customer profile specific campaigns for this sustainable customer segment. And this crushed as well. And so this allowed us to get past that $100 million a year mark and get to $250 million a year and then even to $500 million plus a year. And so this is one of the most important ways to scale and get to these $1 million months is by expanding into ancillary customer profiles. And another way you can do this as well, which is a very simple way to start getting into these ancillary customer profiles, is by leveraging influencer whitelisting. So the beauty of influencer whitelisting is that all these influencers, right, they're a customer profile, right? They're an influencer in a specific niche. So you're able to introduce your brand to numerous customer profiles by piggybacking on top of influencers, right? And influencers based on whatever niche they're in, their followers are customer profiles for that niche, right? And so you're able to expand much faster into more customer profiles by leveraging influencer whitelisting. And so this is another thing that we did at Ruggable is when we added in influencer whitelisting, we did dog influencers, we did mom influencers, we did sustainability influencers, right? We did clean freaks influencers. We literally hit all the customer profiles that we were talking about, but found influencers that represented these customer profiles, right? So when we went all in on our influencer whitelisting, we were able to scale our meta ads budget by 35% month one. So again, this is the power of customer profile advertising, and it was what took us to $500 million a year in under 4 years. So do not sleep on this. So I went on a tangent about these ideal customer profiles, and this is so important and probably the most important thing to hitting these $1 million months, multi-million dollar months. But as you scale your campaigns within the Meta Ads platform, you also have to be scaling your email and SMS marketing as well. And so you need to build upon the flows you already have in your account, meaning cross-sell flows, replenishment flows. UGC flows, product specific cart abandon flows, right? You have to continue to expand and build out more email and SMS marketing flows to sustain the scale. And you also have to send more campaigns. By the time we were at $500 million a year at Ruggable, we were sending 5 to 7 emails per week and a few SMSs every single week as well. And so in order to scale, you have to scale your campaigns, you have to scale your email, you have to scale your SMS as well. And you have to scale your creatives as well. You have to make sure you're testing 10, 20, 30, 50 creatives a week, depending on the scale that you're at. And so one of my agency clients right now, we do about $1.5 million a month in revenue, and we're on track to do 2 million very soon. And we test anywhere from 30 to 50 new ad creatives every single week. And we're adding new email flows every single month, and also testing into CRO improvements as well, testing new site themes, right? Always trying to make our website 1% better. And so you also have to scale your testing on your website as well. Everything has to be scaled together. This is so pivotal to hitting $1 million months. So if you're watching this and you're, at 10K, 20K, 50K, 100K a month, doesn't matter where you're at, but you're like, I want to hit $1 million months. I know my brand can hit $1 million months, but I don't know how to do this on my own. You don't have to do it on your own. I have a coaching program. It's called Meta Ads at Scale, and it's the first coaching program that helps e-commerce brands at any stage of growth scale profitably with Meta Ads. This is a 6-month program where you get a dedicated client success manager who's going to keep you accountable. My head Meta Ads coach, Steve, who's directly trained by me, who will help you through any obstacle you have. And you also get to work with me directly one-on-one as well. We have weekly group coaching calls where I go over a broader e-commerce lesson and a in-platform ads manager lesson with a weekly Q&A. You get a private Slack channel with access to myself, Steve, and your client success manager, and access to group Slack channel with over 80 plus winning e-com brands. And the best part of this whole program is that we do a complete audit of everything you're doing inside your e-com brand. We do an audit of your website, of your email and SMS marketing. And then from there, we create you a 6-month growth plan, giving you exactly what you need to do to scale profitably. We have over 13 case studies you can look at on YouTube right now of all the brands we've helped scale. And this program is literally the best Meta Ads coaching program in the world. And the best part about it too, we have a guarantee. If we cannot at least double your revenue in the 6 months that you're with us, we will work with you absolutely for free until we get you there past the 6 months. And if for some reason you're not happy, if you're not happy after the 6 months, I even give it a happiness guarantee, where if you're not happy after the 6 months in the program, we will let you stay in the program and we will continue to work with you until we get you where you need to go. That is how confident we are in everything we teach and all the systems and frameworks we provide you in Meta Ads at Scale. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.